Dr. Andrews' Psychology Secrets. Psychic and Symbolic Transformation in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is the first movie in the Harry Potter film series and follows the story of young wizard Harry Potter as he begins his journey at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Harry begins his journey of confrontation with his shadow self. The concept of the shadow, in the psychology of C.G.Jung, refers to the unconscious aspects of the psyche, including repressed emotions, fears, and instincts. The goal of the individuation process is to integrate these unconscious aspects into one's self-aware individuality. Harry is here introduced to the wizarding world and begins to experience new challenges that represent his confrontation with the shadow. For example, he is initially fearful and uncertain about his new surroundings, which reflects his unconscious fears and insecurities. He also faces the dark forces represented by many creatures, and among them the darkest, Lord Voldemort. The movie has the following plot. The movie opens with a brief overview of Harry's life as an orphan, living with his cruel and abusive relatives, the Dursleys. Then, Harry receives a letter of acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and learns that he is a wizard. From a psychological perspective, the wizard's world is the world of Harry's subconscious or unconscious world, his inner true self that demands to be revealed, recognized and developed. Harry travels to Hogwarts, which is a castle, which can suggest that it is a symbolic representation of Harry's higher self. At school, Harry is in a magical way sorted into Gryffindor House, symbolic house of light, where he makes new friends. Harry is introduced to the wizarding world, to the world of powers, special forces, magical objects, hidden truths, secret meanings, and magic words. Harry discovers here his hidden special abilities and powers, but also learns about the world of magical creatures, spells, and potions. In this part, Harry and his friends, Ron and Hermione, learn about the Philosopher's Stone, an object that has the power to grant immortality. They set out to find the Philosopher's Stone hidden in a secret part of Hogwarts. Harry, Ron, and Hermione move on a quest to find a Philosopher's Stone. On their way, they have to outsmart the three-headed dog that guarded the gate to the secret underground chamber. This dog seems to have a similar meaning as the ancient hound of Hades, preventing the dead from leaving but also the living from entering the kingdom of the dead. See, the dog Cerberus. Then they have to overcome very dangerous obstacles, and finally Harry gets to the secret chamber where he finds Professor Quirrell with a magic mirror. The mirror is called the Mirror of Erised, and it has the ability to show the viewer their deepest and most desperate desires. The mirror is a powerful and important symbol in the movie, representing the human desire for love, connection, and a sense of belonging. Professor Quirrell is the defense against the dark arts teacher at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. He is portrayed as a nervous and timid character who is often seen stuttering and sweating. In the chamber he revealed his darker side, greedy and cruel. Harry finds that Professor Quirrell has been secretly working with Lord Voldemort and allowed Voldemort to possess him. In the climax of the movie, Harry faces off against Quirrell and Voldemort, ultimately defeating them and saving the Philosopher's Stone. Harry emerges for the first time victorious, saving the Philosopher's Stone and the wizarding world. Harry then returns to the wizarding world with a deeper understanding of himself, his history and the powers possessed by Lord Voldemort. He also understands more his own powers, but also the importance of friendships and connection with others. Harry begins to understand the shadow of the world and begins the challenge of his own confrontation with personal shadow. He starts to confront his alter ego, his fears, drives and internal powers, but also the dark forces that threaten the order of the entire world. Harry's journey can be interpreted in the light of C.G. Jung's psychology as the confrontation with the shadow archetype. The shadow represents the unconscious aspects of the psyche hidden in us and in others. The goal of the individuation process is to integrate these forces without becoming evil or an angel. This is a process of bringing sometimes very dark and unpleasant psychic material from the unconscious into one's conscious awareness, creating a new whole man. Harry begins to become more aware of his shadow self through his experiences at Hogwarts and his encounter with Voldemort. He starts to confront his own fears and insecurities, but also he gets his first insights into his own dark nature, projected here at Voldemort. This confrontation with the shadow continues to deepen in subsequent movies. The symbols of opposites are key to this process. The symbols of light and darkness symbolize consciousness and goodness, while darkness symbolizes unconscious or evil forces. Throughout the series, Harry must navigate these opposing forces and integrate them within himself in order to achieve psychological integration, Jungian term of inflation, but at the same time avoiding of being annihilated. The integration of the psychic opposites is reflected here in the balance between light and darkness, good and evil. These symbolic representations express the hidden nature of human beings, including the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche. The symbols of light and darkness, as well as the symbols of the integration of the psychic opposites, like the Philosopher's Stone, play a central role in this process and reflect the timeless themes found in many myths and stories throughout human history. The following symbols or symbolic creatures represent the archetypal images of opposites or the symbolic representations of shadow or the symbols of integration process. Harry and Voldemort represent good and evil. Their conflict symbolizes the process of integration of the positive and negative aspects of the psyche and their coexistence in the world. Light and darkness symbolize consciousness and unconsciousness, but also good and evil. We can associate them with the old Chinese concept of yin and yang. The Mirror of Erised represents the integration of the conscious and unconscious material, unconscious feelings, experiences and desires. The Philosopher's Stone is the symbol of the integration of the opposites, but in the context of this part of Harry Potter's adventures, it's a symbol of the ultimate power of life, even immortality. In alchemy as well as in Jungian psychology, it represents the ultimate goal of the individuation process, which is the integration of primary elements, but from the psychological perspective, the integration of unconscious and conscious aspects of the psyche. The Phoenix symbolizes rebirth, renewal, and the integration of the unconscious and conscious aspects of the psyche. Harry's final battle with Voldemort is the first confrontation between the psychic opposites. This process starts with getting forces out of balance, a battle of the opposites, and bringing back peace and harmony. Harry emerges here victorious for the first time and saves the Philosopher's Stone and the Wizarding World. After the victory, the balance in the world is renewed. Harry returns to his friends in Hogwarts. He can experience the first signs of his destiny as a great wizard and as a hero. But his journey is not finished. I will describe his next adventures in the next lecture. If you need advice, contact Dr. Andrew, dr.kuzmecki@gmail.com.